So now let's look at coal. Coal is formed over extended period of um, elevated pressure and temperature on organic matter. Coal, however, is made from plant matter, so trees and stuff like that. The earliest extensive plant growth occurred 350 million years ago. So the coal we're digging up now is formed from plants that were on Earth 200 to 400 million years ago. Now the problem really is we're digging up this coal and burning it all in a matter of 50 to 100 years, or a couple of hundred years. All this stuff that formed over millions of years, we're releasing all that carbon in the blink of an eye. So by the way, coal formation is relatively speaking an efficient process in which typically about 0.8% of the original carbon matter in the carbon in the plant matter ends up as coal. So so it's a lot of the carbon content is saved. Coal exists in several varieties depending on the age and formation. The hardest coal is anthracite, which has the highest carbon content. Anthracite, the variety of coal called anthracite, it's the hardest and it has the highest carbon content. And the higher the carbon content, the more energy there is. Okay. Typically, younger coals are softer and have lower carbon and higher moisture content. So the younger coal has lower carbon content and higher moisture content and less energy. So coal may be found at various depths in deposits of different geometries. It may, as a result of continental movement, exist under oceans. So most of the coal is formed in near in old lakes and stuff like that, where the tree fall into the lakes and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, and due to plate tectonics, these might end up under the ocean. So coke is now coke is a product you obtain from coal. It's made by heating coal to about 12,000 degrees Celsius in the absence of air. All the volatile materials are driven off, evaporated, and you're more or less left with pure carbon. Coke is used in the manufacturing of steel, so coke is important for that. So here are the different kinds of coal. Coal, anthracite, bituminous, subbituminous, and lignite. And you see the energy content, and they are rated by energy content. And the higher the carbon content, so in a pound of anthracite, 0.9 pounds is 90% is carbon. In bituminous coal, only 55% is carbon. Okay, the greater the carbon content, the greater the energy content. And the greater the carbon content, less the moisture content. So in the US, over half the US coal comes from the Appalachian region. Coal from the Midwest and West has low sulfur content. The lower the sulfur content, lower the acid rain produced by burning that coal. So that's a good thing, but we tend to use more of the Appalachian coal. Coal occurs in seams of bed varying in thickness from inches to more than 100 feet. So for instance, this seam can be 100 feet thick, up to 100 feet thick, or it could be a few inches thick. About 60% of the coals produced today comes from strip mining. Here's a strip mine. Okay, so you just dig up the overlying earth and then start digging up the coal from these seams of coal. So the removal of topsoil and vegetation in strip mining without replacement leads to erosion and stuff like that. So those are the negative uh, environmental consequences. But again, the biggest is really global warming because of CO2 production. Today, 75% of the electric power generated from fossil fuels comes from coal. So 75% of our electricity produced from fossil fuels comes from coal. So again, remember, CO2 is stuff that causes global warming is the um, main main problem that we are concerned with. So in the US, here's what we use coal for. 70% of the coal is used for electricity generation, 17% to produce coke, which is used in the steel industry, 10% of it is exported, and about 3% is used for residential heating and other processes. Okay, so let's pause now.